Hi. So I've been discharged from the hospital yesterday. As you can see, I've taken the razor again and shaved myself because I was starting to find hairs on my keyboard and on my Chromebook screen, and I decided that the best course of action would be to shave my hair. Uh, Actually, I asked them to do it, but because I was being discharged yesterday and I looked at the timing and I didn't think it would be a good idea to wait for them to do the work. I think I would have been discharged later if I had let them cut my hair. So, yeah, I was discharged yesterday. Um, the discharge went mostly well, except for one thing, and that one thing is that they wanted me to be on prednisone on a steroid, which I have no problem being on. But I mentioned that if I'm put on a steroid, I have side effects that I need to control. Um, Most side effects, like steroids cause anxiety, so the anxiety is already under control by another medication. Um, but I mentioned another problem with the steroids is that I do get heartburn at night if I do take steroids during the day. And the dosage of the steroids doesn't really matter. You can give me high dose steroids, I'm going to have heartburn. You can give me low dose steroids, I'm going to have heartburn. I just have heartburn. There may be a dose which is considered safe, uh, but we've not tried to find it. I don't think it would be particularly useful anyway. So what I tell people when they give me steroids is, you need to put me on an antacid regimen at the same time so that I don't have heartburn at night and I can have a good night of sleep. Now, yesterday was discharge time. There was a lot of things going on. I got prednisone earlier in the day, and I think I also got at the same time some antacid at that time. And then I was released. We went over my medication. I was released from the hospital. I came home. Um, and I had not noticed when they released me that I shouldn't. I There was no on my list of medication. There was no antacid. I had forgotten that they had given me prednisone, and I had forgotten about the antacid. So I went to bed. I took my CBD before going to bed to help myself fall asleep. But CBD is not magical, you know. Eh, if you have drums playing all night or some physical condition, it helps you stay asleep, fall asleep, stay asleep. But it's not an overriding force. And the overriding force last night is I got up at three. I know at 1:30 a.m. 1:30 a.m. I got up, uh, and I wanted to pee and poop, and I went back to bed in our bedroom with my wife, and then just didn't feel like I was going to go back to sleep, so I decided to take my stuff and go upstairs, and this is where the heartburn really started. Uh, I got in bed over here. I mean, in the guest room is just behind me, uh, and I knew there was something going on, so I just I put pillows so that I could be at an angle instead of being completely flat on the bed because that helps a little bit. Uh, I took an antacid, famotidine. I might have been able to take more than I did, but I didn't want to overdo it, and I was pretty damn tired at that point. So I took an antacid and then got in bed with my laptop. I chatted. I chatted a little bit. I looked at the news and was trying to fall back asleep. And then that's when the waves started coming of really terrible pain from the heartburn that it would come up and wash over me, and I would have to really take deep breaths to calm it down, and I had to do that a few times because, and the problem is that it's heartburn is fairly easy to stop ahead of time if you take enough heartburn medicine. Um, Once it started, though, it's like a runaway train. You don't want the train to run away from you, because it's easier to keep it from running away from you than from stopping a runaway train. So it's like a runaway train. When it started, the antacids can help, and all kinds of methods that can help, but they're not going to stop it. So for a few hours in bed, I had, from time to time, there was this wave coming up, and I had to take deep breaths to, let it go. Uh, and eventually I was able to go back to sleep, but my night was pretty much shit last night. Didn't sleep very well. Unfortunately, my sleep tracker decided to break. It breaks periodically. It's kind of stupid, but I have a better one in the bedroom, uh, with my Google display, which doesn't break. But the one I use, that is on my phone and on my app, and an app, and it uses this Mi Band. Unfortunately, from time to time, it decides not to use the band, or it does what it does. And last night, it decided to crap out on me. Um, so, according to that app, I did sleep very well, but I know it's not true. Um, so, yeah, UMMC messed up my discharge, uh, which unfortunately brings it in the same league as Johns Hopkins, because the first discharge I had there from their chemo department was also bungled, but in a different way. This way was not as bad because it was just one drug that was missing one night, whereas at Johns Hopkins it just didn't educate me about the catheter that they gave me. So I had to learn about it online, and um, a lot of the stuff I was reading was very worrisome. Uh, I managed to get the information I needed, but I was not happy about that. So UMMC is joining Johns Hopkins and bungling the discharge. Yeah, and today I had to fix that. So I had call, try to contact somebody at UMMC to, say, hey, you guys discharged me with steroids, but nothing to control the heartburn. And I did tell you that I needed that. You know, it's not. They cannot say, oh, the patient forgot to tell us. The patient is confused. Some other nonsense like that. It's like I told you and you didn't do it. Um, so yeah, I tried to contact them, and my wife remembered something from yesterday, which was helpful. But at first, I called the regular discharge number that they give to patients, and the person who answered that thing was not well trained to handle me. Um, I can have a lot of patience on the phone with customer service representatives, but this person, I said, yeah, you discharged me yesterday, blah blah blah, and she took the U, which is a corporate U, UMMC, you, the company, the organization, you discharged me. She took that personally, and she started saying me, I didn't talk to you yesterday. Uh, yeah, it turned into a yelling match, and she hung up on me. Um, and I don't know what UMMC is going to do. I did tell them about that because during the day, then my wife remembered something. We called another number. We got a response through that number. I might have taken half an hour to get a response from there, where she said, "Oh, you just take famotidine and with your steroids, and you're going to be okay." So when they told me that, I took my drugs, which the steroids, by the way, today was the only dose. I thought I had two doses, like one for today, one for tomorrow, but there's only one dose for today. So I took my dose. Then, in the meantime, their automated system decided to call me and ask about whether I was satisfied about my discharge, and I said no. And someone then called live. Someone called me back after that because if you have a patient that says I'm not happy about my discharge, you want to know why. So she got my information. I did tell her that I called the number that they gave me and that I got this stupid response from whoever answered the phone. I couldn't tell her the name. I don't remember what the person's name was, but I told her the time that I called, and they might be able to triangulate who the hell answered my call. Uh, because you know what? You have a client, you have a patient, you send the patient home, the patient then cannot sleep. The patient is fucking pissed in the morning. And guess what you're going to get from that patient when they call you to help them? They're not going to be very happy, and they're going to want things to be done, not no nonsense, no, oh, well, we'll call you when we feel like it. Um, and so the person who answers that has to be trained to de-escalate. I guess it's the theme. The theme in the United States right now is de-escalate instead of escalating. Uh, de-escalate. When the police, they arrest somebody, especially people with mental health, de-escalate. Don't put your gun in their face to try to solve the situation. That's not de-escalating. That's escalating. And you end up with a dead person on your hands. And it's the same thing for the CSRs. They have to learn to de-escalate. When I'm pissed, you de-escalate. You don't start defending yourself, saying, "Well, I didn't talk to you." What? Why the fuck do I care? That you did not talk to me. I know that. I mean, I taught the institution, you, not you. Um, so eventually we got that thing solved. Took a while. Oh, I also got the call from my actual stem cell oncologist later in the day. It was a supper time, and he was apologetic, and that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear somebody defend themselves that didn't talk to you yesterday, which is not at all what I was telling her. So yeah, other than that, I'm feeling pretty good today. A little bit under the weather, tired. Not under the weather. I would say tired. It's just tired, general tiredness, and that's to be expected after stem cell transplant. That um, you're gonna feel it for a while. I still did, I think, 2,000 steps today. I'm trying to have at least a minimum of steps that I do either by just walking around the house or walking outside, but I don't walk outside that much these days. And or dancing. I just put on YouTube music, which is not a service I recommend, but I'm stuck with it. I just put on YouTube music and I dance to that, um, to some videos that I like. I like to have videos. I don't like to have just music. I have to have also like videos with it. Uh, so there are some pieces that are instrumental I do dance to, and it's fine. But generally, I prefer to have the video. And so yes, I'm doing all right. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have. I need to go back to UMMC for lab work, and I'm gonna see, I think, a nurse. They want to make sure that I don't need any transfusion, um, that I'm hydrated, and things of the sort. And I did ask that most of it be done remotely, but I know that for maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks, they're going to want me there physically in order to, for instance, if they do a blood test and they realize I need a transfusion, I need to be there to get the transfusion. I cannot get the transfusion at home. Uh, so for now, it's I need to be present in Baltimore for them to see me. Um, excuse my nose. Um, yeah, and I take my temperature twice a day at least to make sure that nothing's sneaking up on me. Um, yeah, so that's it health wise. I thought I would combine this episode. I would not only talk about my health, but about diapers, adult diapers, because it's important if you're getting chemo. A lot of people are going to have bowel troubles. Um, and there's nothing like a diaper to solve that problem or to help. I mean, I've been relatively lucky. The chemo that put me into remission, it was mainly based on methotrexate and rituximab. The rituximab did nothing to my gut. Um, the methotrexate, though, I would get at the very least a loose bowel movement every time I got that chemo, and in the middle it got bad enough that I needed diapers. Um, it's not like I would just gush out of the blue, but it's the typical example. You think it's a fart and you push it out, and oops, it's not a fart. um, so I had diapers for that, and it was a bit of a revelation for me how it works because everybody has heard of Depends, so I just went online and saw Depends, and I didn't think more of it. I just ordered Depends, and if you know how Depends are, you know what happened. The Depends got here. I opened the package. I looked at it. Protection in the front, no protection in the back. Okay, um, that's not my problem. The front was really never my problem. Actually, I never. Some people, I think, do become incontinent. Urinary incontinence. They get urinary incontinence from chemo. I think some people do. I didn't. Um, I only had, I don't know. I guess it's called fecal incontinence. um, and it was not really incontinence either because I could control it. It's just that I didn't know. Like, oh, I have a fart. Oops, no, it's not. um, So I ordered the pens for nothing. Um, I decided to keep them. Probably wasn't the greatest idea. Then I went online and I got these guys: Tranquility Premium Protection Overnight, Premium Overnight, and the overnight is important uh, because they also make a premium daytime, which I don't need. I guess on these I'm gonna have to return them. It's an intact package. I'm gonna have to return them to Amazon. But yeah, I took Tranquility Premium Protection overnight, and these are all around protection. So if you need protection in the front, you have it. If you need protection in the back, you have it. And I like them. They work well for me. They're the right size. I use them during my chemo at Johns Hopkins. Um, I think after maybe the third round of chemo, I started wearing these after, excuse me, after they gave me my methotrexate. Um, and they saved my ass a few times, literally. um, then when I went to UMMC for the stem cell transplant, uh, it was a different ball game in terms of side effects. I still didn't get any kind of urinary incontinence from my chemo, as far as I know. I mean, it's possible that one night I peed my, but I didn't feel it, so I don't think I had urinary incontinence. I did at when I got the stem cell chemo at UMMC. I did get. Um, I think there were some nights where I was fecally incontinent, and again, those diapers, I kind of had a sense of when to put them on, and they saved my ass. Because you need, so I think sometimes people are kind of like, oh, I shouldn't wear diapers, it's so embarrassing. But consider what the alternative is. If you're too embarrassed to wear a diaper, what's going to happen if you do have fecal incontinence at night is that you are going to poop in your bed, literally really poop in your bed. I'm not joking. You're not going to get an alarm system telling you need to poop now and get up and go to the bathroom. You're going to poop in your bed, and then you're going to have to call the nurses to come clean it up. And it seems to me it's a bad trade. It's like, I don't want to wear diapers because I'm going to be embarrassed, but yeah, you're going to mess the bed, and then they're going to have to come clean it up. There's no escape from that. And yeah, so I wore those diapers. And I'm still wearing them right now. I mean, I probably won't be needing them and tonight, tomorrow night. Excuse me. But right now it's better safe than sorry, and I have a bunch of them that I'm probably not going to use for any other purpose. So I'm just using them. And I don't particularly like keeping equipment around for, oh, I'm going to save those diapers. Usually, what happens when I try to save stuff for a long time in the future is that when I need them, I can find them. I forgot that at some point I decided to just get rid of them. It just drives me mad. So I prefer to use them now. And so yeah, right now I'm wearing them and I change them once a day. And I don't right this moment I don't need them, but earlier during the stem cell transplant there were days where I was going to the bathroom and I was pulling the diaper down, and I could see I used it. Um, so yeah, it saved my ass a few times. And I'd say if you are going to get chemo, any kind of chemo, I would prepare a little, at least a very little pack of diapers to bring to the hospital with me. If you don't have your own diapers, the hospital will provide some. But my problem with their diapers is that their diapers, you kind of build them on you as you go, so they're one size fits all. So you build them, but they don't fit as well as the diapers that I found. For some people, the hospital diapers might be great. Um, I decided that I didn't want them because I didn't think they fit me very well. And the other reason is that hospital diapers are hospital diapers, and you don't have them at home. I wanted to have something at home in case I needed it at home. Um, so I decided to buy my own, and I would do it again in a heartbeat if I had another chemo. Uh, and now I know my size and stuff like that, so very easy to order. But remember to order I prefer the overnight ones than the daytime ones. I cannot give you a particular reason for that. I think daytime is probably less built up, so um, they're probably less bulky, but the nighttime ones are, I think, better protection. And it doesn't feel bulky on me. Maybe I'm specially shaped. I don't know, but I don't see the point of having daytime and nighttime. Um, as far as I'm concerned, if a diaper hasn't been used, for 24 hours, I change it. There's probably some recommendation that you should change it more often. I know when I was getting the chemo at first, they wanted me to shower every 6 hours, and I did have to change clothes every 6 hours also. And I took that to mean you need to change your diaper every 6 hours also. So at that time I was changing the diaper more often. And if I had used it, it would have even been to be changed even more often than 6 hours. But it was at least every 6 hours. Um, but right now it's I change it once a day, and I don't have any major problem like major diaper rash or anything like that. Um, so yeah, um, if you have chemo, get a good diaper. It will literally save your ass. um, and I have to say, I'm talking again. It's always my experience. Um, I, as far as I understand it, I was relatively spared in the gut department. From what I hear, some people have more gut problems faster, sometimes stronger. Even just giving me the injections, the nurse that instructed me was talking about possible gushing diarrhea, which didn't happen to me, but it happens to some people apparently when they're just injecting themselves with the stimulant, not during chemo. So I'm suppose during chemo, some people will also have worse reactions than I do. And then for those people, they may make a different calculation than I did. They may want to use the hospital diapers because using their own diapers would be just too expensive, or they may have another model of diaper that they prefer to what I use. Um, I can only talk about my own experience. I don't have the experience of 1,000 people. Um, but in my experience, investing in a diaper, uh, it's a good idea. So let's see. I don't see anybody in chat. So this being said, I guess I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know when I'm going to stream again. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. I'm not sure. Uh, I don't know what we're going to learn during the exams tomorrow. My account is going to be probably better, but who knows? So till then, thank you for listening, and I'll say goodbye.